another familiar face, a Hobbymaker.
Hello.
Nikky, hello, my love.
Hello, I'm great, thank you.
We were just talking earlier before the show started this afternoon. It must be about 10 years since we last worked together.
Yeah, I think it might even be longer. I don't know, but yeah, it's a very long. I just keep missing you.
I know.
I thought,
well,
there was
together
something
now.
wrong at one point. Yeah.
Nikky Hall is Polkadoodles, basically. It's a brilliant brand. You do all the sketching, you do all the artwork, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, probably 90. I would say 95 to 98% is all my handiwork. Yeah.
Fantastic. We love that, and that's what we love about Hobbymaker. We get the big companies like the Crafters Companions and all of that, and Hunky Dory, but we also get the family businesses too, which is fantastic. Now, I've got a confession to make. I thought this was a cheese collection because it says "Say Cheese," and of course it's cheese in like "Say Cheese." Take a picture cheese,
Yeah.
not cheddar.
Yeah.
Not Gouda.
No, not Gouda, much as I love it.
So what we've got for you, actually we've got two collections in the show and we've got an opportunity where you can buy both of them together, okay? So we've got the Say Cheese collection and a Hip Hip Hooray collection. So it's all celebratory really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's kind of birthdays, special occasions, whatever they may be. And it's just a really nice, fun, uplifting collection to kind of, we're getting towards the end of the year. So I just love this. It's so much fun. And the reason I called it Say Cheese is because there's a little camera in there.
Now, we're going to give you the details of the big bundle where you're going to get the Hip Hip Hooray and the Say Cheese collection as well. It's a combination of papers and also stamps and dies as well, isn't it?
And there's a stencil in there as well, yeah.
So it's all about, having your picture taken for celebratory reasons. Also, of course, Hip Hip Hooray can be for any celebration. Now, the bundle of both together is $106.92, but that is not going to be the price. We're going to give you a special deal on that this afternoon, and that's going to be actually going to below £80 if you want both of the collections, $79.49, and it's on a three-way split pay, not two. So that's $26.49 today, your first payment of three. If you don't want split pay, you don't have to have it, but it is there if you want it, or just pay in full, $79.49. And remember, we've got the Say Cheese collection separate and the Hip Hip Hooray collection separate, and individuals available too. So if maybe the paper pad jumps out at you or the birthday die jumps out at you, you can buy that on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and don't forget 1 P&P per day at Hobbymaker. What do you think about that? $4.95.
I think it's fantastic.
It's brilliant,
because you kind of want to fill your basket, fill your boots a bit, don't you?
You do.
And then
yeah.
for it all, I love the way that it all just collects at the end,
yeah.
and it's just 1 P&P. I mean, I wish every website did that.
I know. Absolutely.
I don't know how you do it because I can't do that on my website.
Well, we lose money. I know that.
Yeah,
on
I'm
P&P.
sure, yeah.
But what you'll get is an email confirmation overnight tonight. Our system puts all the orders together that you've made, whether it's from Polkadoodles, whether it's from Tim Holtz with Leone, PI, whether it was Sandra Rushton, whatever you've made, you get an email confirmation on one email overnight showing what you've bought and also showing you your split pays if you've opted to go for that, and the 1 P&P of $4.95. Let me show you the Say Cheese collection to start off with, though, because this has got lots and lots going on in it. The birthday die, look at the size of that.
Yeah, this is a fab die. I have to say, I'm a little in love with this. I'm crushing on it big time. And I've been wanting to do this die for a really long time. And it's just such an easy one to create something fantastic with. You're just literally it's one die that die cuts the whole entire thing.
Fantastic. And there's a sample to show you, the sort of thing you can create with it. That looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it's like a paper piece.
No, Jane's actually cut that out. So that's the letters on their own. But she's actually cut them out of like a puffy fabric.
Funky foam or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's actually fabric,
right.
like almost like a flock.
Right.
Or a felt. I think it's felt actually. But yeah, the dimension on that is fantastic. And you can, I'm calling this an innie-outie die because you're getting like the die itself cuts the letters, or you've got the remain. Yeah, you've got the aperture for it. So it's great for paper piecing, but you can make two cards at the same time with it,
Brilliant.
which is I love.
Okay, next one in the collection. This is still the Say Cheese collection. This is your ink it and cut it. So you've got the dies and you've got the stamps as well. Well, that's the dies, sorry, to start off with in this.
Yeah.
So it matches with the stamps that we've got coming up next. So there are your 16 dies. And if you look at the shapes, some of them will be obvious, some of them maybe won't be, but they match these stamps basically. So everything you stamped out, the dies will cut it out for you brilliantly. And look at the size of them. They're lovely. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, this is a big A5 or 6x8 if you're in the States. So this is a big stamp set. You're getting quite a lot of stamps on there, and they're a decent size as well. So you can easily make quick and easy cards with just one stamp out of these sets. But also they're not, I love these images because they're kind of whimsical, but they're not too babyish.
And the balloon's almost like a face. It's got a smile on it.
It is, yeah, it's really cool.
Like
yeah, yeah.
So
I love that balloon. It's just hilarious.
So there's your stamps to go with the dies. And then you get these fantastic papers. Look at these. Look at these. They're beautifully printed, double-sided as well.
Yeah.
A4, but they're kind of half and half, aren't they?
They are. So the price of paper has gone up so much in the last sort of it went up after the pandemic, but in the last year or so it's gone up even more. Wow. And it's making papers really expensive for us to produce. And so the reason I've done this is because I can give you more patterns. When we buy a paper pack, we want a variety of patterns. So by making it into an A4 instead of an A5 or a 6x6, it means I can double the amount of patterns. I can also print on the reverse of it as well. So it's just basically giving you double the choice in the same quantity, if you know what I mean, if you understand what I mean.
I do, and you're going to get 25 double-sided sheets, but printed as A5, basically.
Yeah.
So you can trim them, cut them in half, or fold them if you want to, do whatever you will. So that is the Say Cheese collection, which is only part of what you're going to get, because then we've also got the Hip Hip Hooray collection. So if you want the cheese collection on its own, it is available. That is going to be... actually, let's give it to you now. If you just want that on its own, it's going to come up on the side of your screen over here. If you just want that, what I've just shown you, and not the whole thing, here it comes. There it is. So that is, how much is that? CU 3889. How much is that, Ellie? 45.48. Okay, 45.48 if you want the Say Cheese collection on its own. CU 3889. Then we've got the Hip Hip collection as well, the Hip Hip Hooray. So here we've got stamps. There you go. That's gorgeous. I love that.
Yeah, it is lovely. So again, it's kind of like almost like an all-in-one, but again, quite versatile. And you can use this in different ways because the elements are actually separated. So it's not just one big stamp.
Absolutely. Then you've got to go with that, of course, the dies that cut out what you just stamped. Nice, big, easy to read letters as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Hip Hip Hooray collection.
No, I don't think I have either, no.
But it's a great way of saying good on you. You know?
Because it can be for anything. It doesn't just have to be for a birthday.
Yeah, it could be someone passing a driving test.
Yeah, and you can just use the hooray on its own. So it can be hooray, you passed your test. It could be hooray, it's a new baby, or whatever you want it to be.
And then you've got your creative background stencil as well, which is lovely. So you've got these kind of cascading stars that go down in size and then start again. So really lovely, great effect. And it will work that way as well as that way.
And again, this is great for New Year's, anniversaries, anything at all, because stars are universally used for lots of different things.
And then you get your craft papers. How many sheets of this do you get? 24 sheets. And then look at these. Again, they are beautifully printed. I mean, this one has been printed so well that you can just use your trimmer.
Yeah.
Let's Eat Cake, Another Year Wiser, Special Man.
Yeah, so purposely designed for you to cut those down and use as sentiments. You know, you've got the confetti in there, lots of like little cute ones. You've got candles, and these are a lot of these are hand done and hand painted. So numbers, so you can just pick out a number.
Again, easily trimmable too. If you want to.
Very.
If you don't use them as a full sheet. That beautiful tartan. Then you've got your polka dots. And then you've got more sentiments at the back there, happy birthday in various different colours. So that is your Hip Hip Hooray collection. It's in the main bundle, which is on the screen. And by the way, the main bundle, 10% of the stock of that has already gone. If you want the Hip Hip Hooray on its own, it's on the screen. It's QJ3831, and that price is $29.40 if you want that on its own, if you just want the Hip Hip Hooray. But if you buy them both together, i.e. 3826, you get it for $79.49. That's both of them. And you get it with 3 split pays. So divide $79.49 by 3, $26.49 your first payment. You get the whole thing.
Yeah, and I tried to make it, I tried to give you a really good discount on this. So it's...
You've done good.
Good.
You've done good. Right, should we do a demo?
Shall we?
Is that all right?
Yeah, okay. So, first of all, I think, I'm going to try and use a little bit of everything, I think, Dave.
Okay, why not?
So I've kind of... prepped a little bit of it in advance already, but we're going to just kind of, when I designed this, I really wanted to have a little camera, and that's where the say cheese thing comes from.
Yeah.
So it's kind of designed, my whole inspiration around it was I kind of drew the camera, and then I loved it so much, I kind of thought, well, this kind of reminds me a bit of a Polaroid. So I wanted to kind of design that, and that was really what I was trying to do. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to just ink a background.
Okay.
And I think, let me see, what colour are we going to use? Let me see, I'm going to use an oxide.
Okay.
So I've got an A5 piece of watercolour card. I tend to always use watercolour because it's just a bit more forgiving and I can do different things with it. As you know, I often change my mind halfway through with what I'm doing. So this time I'm just going to blend some ink.
I think we do that at home though, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. And I prep all these demos, and even when I'm here and it's already prepped and I know exactly what I'm doing, I'm supposed to know what I'm doing, I change it halfway through. You guys don't even know half the time that I've changed it.
No, that's true.
So what I want to do
It's
now...
like Leonie earlier on, we had a little meeting with her before and we said, what demos you've got prepped, Leonie? She said, no, I just make it up as I go along.
Yeah, and I try and be organised, but I think if you're creative, it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think of something else as you're going. So these stars, I love this pattern. So I'm just doing it on this half here. And I'm just going to go in, this is my peacock feather, which I love. And I just want it to kind of go across where I've inked. I don't want it anymore. This is going to be a bit of a clean and simple card for me. So already looking really nice, nice effect. So we'll get them out of the way for now, I think. So that's our background ready to kind of go.
Okay.
Now, what you're going to do with these dies, I'm going to use the Hip Hooray first of all. So all you're going to do, let me grab I'm not used to using it. I'm trying to be good and use a stamp platform because my stamping always goes so horribly wrong. But I kind of have to keep remembering about it. So let me grab my stamps.
I'll tell you what, those stamping platforms are game changers, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So what I'm going to do, in fact, let me turn that around. I've already prepped some of this, but I want to show you how I reached this point. So I'm going to place my stamp here, and I'm not going to worry about the hooray bit for now. So I'm just going to pick that up.
Are you a designer that kind of sits on an office desk during the day, or do you just doodle at night in front of the telly? Or
I do both, to be honest. I tend to doodle and sketch the ideas for a collection when I'm sitting in front of the TV.
Right. When you're most relaxed.
Yeah, but then the actual and actually I've reached a point now where I can only draw when I'm in front of the TV. So I do, like, the technical stuff is at my desk, but the actual drawing has to be, I have to sit on the sofa because it's a really comfy position for me to be in.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to press that. Okay, so we've got hip hip. So what we would do then, now I'm not going to do it, but because I've already prepped it, you don't need to see me die cutting it. You know how that's going to work. So I've coloured this in and then die cut that. Okay.
Yep.
And I've already got that ready. Now what I really love is, just put my finger in the ink. So what I really love is once you've actually die cut it, these are the letters and they all individually cut out.
Oh, right, okay. I thought they should cut out the
Yeah,
actual hip.
yeah, you think so. Yeah, you think so. And then with the hooray bit, that also then cuts out and you end up with separate pieces. So you can do, I don't know where my other eye's gone, but it's around somewhere. So you can do, it's quite versatile, you can do quite a lot with it. So I'm going to put those to the side because I don't want to spend all of our time colouring in. It'll take a little while. So,
what's your favourite type of colouring in though? What do you like to use?
Watercolours.
Okay.
Yeah, watercolours are really my thing. So what I would do ordinarily, and look, this is what I did last time, and this is kind of again, the inny-outy thing that you can end up with.
There's no mistaking what that says, even though technically you've got and cut out the individual letters.
Yeah.
You can still see what it says.
Yeah, and first of all, what I did when I actually did this, and I should have coloured it, I was meant to colour it in the demo and I've forgotten to do it. But basically, you could go back. This is strong enough to go back and actually ink this. And all I then did was I actually put some gold paint on, flick gold paint on. If I'd have had Leonie's Distress spritzes, then I would have been able to do that because I've got the similar
Actually, they'd
effect.
be perfect for that, wouldn't
Yeah, they would. So I've just created this rainbow effect. And what I really love about this, I'll just do it on the back of here. But, in fact, no, don't use that, Nikki. Use this one. But also what I discovered as I was doing it is that this also makes a great stencil as well.
Yep.
Or a great mask, rather, I should say. So you can still also ink these too, just to show you something else that you can actually do with it and how versatile it is. So you can come back in, and how cool is that? I think that's really cool because it is legible.
And all you've used is the waste cardstock from what you cut out.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and that looks really nice, just in 2 colours. It's just fab. And equally, this also looks really nice on its own as well. And I would be more than happy to put that on a card as well and use that piece.
Totally.
So you've got no waste at all. So the only thing I would say, just a little piece of advice, is when you come to actually die cut this, with your dies, just let me grab my dies to show you. So your dies are obviously all separate as well. So you're going to get the Hooray die, and then you get Hip. Oh, where am I? That's my Hooray. And then when you do the Hip, that's 2 separate dies too. Now, the stamp is Hip is together. Is it together? Or am I imagining it? Yeah, it's together.
Yeah.
So you've got one stamp there. Now, when you come to die cut, the 2 H's are quite close together. So I actually cut those separate. So, and that's why you've got 2 separate dies.
Right, gotcha.
Okay,
Yep.
so cut them separate because one's going to overlap and it'll cut into the bottom H.
Okay.
Okay, so just do that. But look how lovely it looks.
Yeah, I love it.
You see, if you wanted to, we never do this anymore, but look, you know what we could do, don't you?
Use it as a stencil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, do
Ink
you
colour.
remember when we used to do this all the time and never see anyone doing this anymore?
I don't know why not, though.
No, I think it was just kind of like we had the dies that were specifically made for it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And, you know...
Then Mylar came out and we all thought of that rather than using metal.
Yeah. So look what's going to happen. So how many different ways can we use that one die?
If you want
It's just-
versatility,
Yeah.
the die and the stamp combined, loads of different ways of using that verse. Now, if you do want the main collection, that's the Say Cheese and the Hip Hooray together. It is $79.49, the big bundle, and on 3 split pays. If you though want the Say Cheese bundle on its own, the Say Cheese, have I got that? Where have I put that? Have I put that down?
I don't know,
It's here.
I'm not
It's here.
seeing things
Here
anymore.
It is. It's over here.
You know, when you
The
stop
papers are
seeing
covering. Yeah, it happens to me all the time.
things. Yeah, me too.
This is the Say Cheese bundle. So you've got basically that big birthday die, which is pretty amazing. So there's the big birthday die there. There you go. There's the big birthday die. Huge it is, actually. And again, you've got the positive and the negative because it cuts out those letters brilliantly. You've then got your dies and the stamps for all of these fantastic images, the balloons, the cakes and everything else, the camera too. That's the Say Cheese part of it. Then you've got the 25 sheets of the craft paper pack, the Celebrations paper pack, double-sided. That is $45.48, CU33, oh, no it's not, CU3889, CU3889, $45.48. And if you want them individually, we've got those that we can show you too. So if you want the papers, if you want the stamps, if you want the die set on their own, papers coming on first of all. So if you've got the 25 sheets of the papers, that would be $14.99 for double-sided, all printed as A5. So, yep, 25 sheets for that, £14.99 is the price, UW3839. Obviously, the best deal is to buy the bundle. Then if you want the birthday die on its own, which I'm imagining this is going to be a really popular individual one. Happy on the top, birthday in big capital letters underneath, but it's all one die. This is only £12.99. And again, you can make cards like that. You can paper piece them, as we've done there with like a felt material or something, put those, or yeah, it is like a felt material that's been used on that. So you've got the aperture cut out, you've got the positive, and you can paper piece it if you want to, but it's a huge die. That's the card in one pass, isn't it really? £12.99, that's DU3862. Sharon's in, April in East Riding of Yorkshire, Chrissy in Essex is coming through on that one as well. And then the dies for the Say Cheese, that's these. I mean, you probably wouldn't want these on their own, I would have thought, because they match the stamps, but just in case you do. There it is, that's the die set for £17.99. Not the price though, we can give you a deal on that. £14.75, CG3889 for the dies on their own. But more than likely, you'll probably, if you just want the stamps on their own, you'll probably want the dies too. Maybe just want those two individually. That's £14.75 for all those stamps. The dies that match we've just given you. BZ3812 is your item number. I don't know what your budget is, but there's something for absolutely everybody. And Polkadoodles, I know, has got a huge fan base, and it's lovely that Nikki is now here with us at Hobbymaker. Okay, so that's if you want the stamp set. Then the Hip Hip Hooray bundle, separated. What do you want first, Ellie? Do you want the bundle first? Okay, so the bundle with everything, the Hip Hip Hooray stamps and dies, and the stencil and the paper pad. Should be $36.38. Today's deal is under £30. And look at what you can make with it. I mean, the colours are fantastically bright and cheerful and fun. QJ3831. But if you just want some part of it, if you just want, let's do the stamps first. So the Hip Hip Hooray stamps, the Hip Hip is one stamp, so is the Hooray as well. And you've got birthday, and you've got the balloons on there as well. That as a stamp set, OQ3898, is just £11.95. And it's like I was saying to Nikki, it's a verse that you hear people say, but you don't often see in a stamp or a die set. So maybe that's missing from your collection. Fancy that. OQ3898 for the Hip Hip Hooray stamps. Then if you want the dies to cut it out, which makes life so much easier, we'll match the price for those as well. Even the word birthday it cuts out as well, and the balloon too. That is matching the price of the stamps. £11.95p for the dies. FL3870. And then we've got the stencil. Now, stencil, I love this. It's almost like a shower of stars, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, yeah. And it would look really lovely if you did it in metallics. So, you know, if you've got kind of gold inks, silver inks, you know, get those working and it'd look absolutely stunning, especially if you kind of combine them. It would also look nice if you've got some glue that you can foil with, or,
good idea.
you know, it would look lovely. I'm dying to do that, actually. I haven't done it and I'm dying to do that next.
That's what it can look like with your ink pads. £5.49 for that A5 stencil. And then if you just want the 6x6, is it 6x6 or 5x5? 6x6. 6x6 paper pad. If you want that, really fun, really funky, lovely bright colours. That's what I always remember from working with you. Everything's bright and cheerful and positive.
Yeah, I try, because, you know, that's what crafting should be.
Absolutely. Age is just a number. That's what I keep telling myself.
Yeah.
Another year wiser. Let's celebrate. Let's eat cake. Then you've got these beautiful printed pages. You get multiples of each one, at least 2 of each. Hip, hip, hooray on that one. There's the candles. You could trim those out to make candle strips if you wanted to with a trimmer. Bubble letters for the word birthday. Again, you can trim those with the trimmer too. And the numbers there as well. That is just £6.99. And you're going to get 24 sheets there of, 12 designs, 2 of each. There we go. So if you want that on its own. But if you get everything, the Say Cheese and the Hip Hip Hooray, you'll get all of what I've just shown you for a brilliantly reduced price. It's always the best value. It's over £105 worth, but today it is £79.49. And on 3-way split pay, we'll get you everything. So that makes it, what was it, £26.66? £26.49. £26.49 your first split payment of 3. You pay that today plus your P&P, which is capped at £4.95, and it's on its way. You pay 2 more payments, one next month, one the month after. We've also got a few little tools in the show that I know Ellie, our producer, wanted to quickly show you.
Yeah.
Now, the lift magnetic wand, this is something new to me. What's this?
Oh, I need to show you this. Okay.
These are they?
Yeah. So these are going to change your die cutting life. Okay. I've brought you these because I love dies. I don't like the die cutting process, you know, kind of lifting the dies off the mat.
Yeah.
I have very sensitive fingertips for some reason. I don't know why. I just find it really uncomfortable. And so because of that, I've never been big with, you know, personally using dies. So what you can do with these, where are they gone? Here we go. You're going to get 2.
Okay.
And they're magnets, basically. So it's a little wand. It's got a magnet on each end. So you've got a big magnet on one side, and these are neodymium magnets, which means that they're like mega powerful.
Okay.
But not so bad. I mean, look, look at this. They are really
But you can
magnetic.
separate them quite easily.
Yeah, you're not going to pinch yourself. But look what happens. So basically, you can now, however you store your dies, now you can just touch this with the wand.
Even off a magnetic sheet, it picks them up?
Yeah, absolutely. And because I gave you 2 because the way I use them is I put it down, release it, and then do that, okay?
Brilliant.
And what it means is that it just makes your life so much easier. Now, when you're actually starting to use, when you want to put them through your machine, I think most of us now, maybe not everyone, but most of us are using a magnetic mat. So what it means is that you can also place them. So look, all you do is twist them round and then you can easily place them.
Oh, they're so handy.
Say for instance here, and look, you've got to slide, you chip your nails. So I know I'm not particularly proud of my nails. I don't go and get them done or anything like that. And that's because they constantly break all the time. I'd literally be in the salon every week.
I mean, I'm a guy with pretty strong nails, but it is a faff to try and pick these up.
And it's not, they're not sharp, but it's
just awkward.
And it's annoying on your fingertips. So look, what we can do now, we'll take, and look, they're really strong. They really do get hold of it. So this is why, because not everybody is very dexterous.
But also, if you drop a little die on the carpet, I don't know what kind of carpet you've got at home, you could be there on your hands and knees for hours.
And in your bin. So, mine go flying in. I always have the bin at my feet, and they always go flying in the bin.
Yeah.
All you need to do is kind of wave, I know it sounds silly, but wave it in the bin, and it really attracts. And just to prove that, I'm going to show you. Now, this is how strong they are. Just
to let everyone know, Nikki, I've got loads of you coming in at $11.99 for this. It's $8.99 for 2 if you want these. If you're thinking, that's what I need, that's what I could really do with it, I'll spend all my time trying to find little dies that I've lost or whatever, or you just like picking them up off magnetic sheets, this will do the job for you. Magnet at either end. Hello to all of you coming through. Jan, Jill, Julie, Sue, Terry, Catherine, Crafter in East Riding of Yorkshire, Zara, Greater London, Julie in Warwickshire. At that price, it's just
It's a game changer.
It is.
It's an absolute game changer. So look, magnetic sheet for my die cutting, scissors, tweezers. How many of us are like, this is what I'm like at home. I'm like, I've got a massive desk. I craft in a space like this. Everything gets buried. I've lost my die underneath there somewhere. Watch this.
Hey, even through really thick cardstock.
2 sheets of 160-gram cardstock, that is. But also, watch this.
Oh, crikey.
That's how strong they are. They'll pick your tools up as well. I can pick my scissors up. Oh, look.
Brilliant.
So if you again, like I say, if you've lost something in the bin, it'll even, I think I've got something else there.
10% of the stock is gone, actually.
Oh, it's not wanting to do it, but it'll do it. Look, these
Look at that.
big scissors, these are big, heavy 7-inch scissors, and it's going to, look, it's lifting it off the table.
Being a bloke, I don't have these concerns, but if you spend a lot of time and probably an awful lot of money getting your nails done, like our cat producer went yesterday to get hers done, they're a pride and joy. But if you're picking up dies off magnetic sheets, you're probably going to be chipping them.
Yeah, and that's what used to happen to me. My nails were always splitting, and it was always after I'd done die cutting. And so I've been looking for something that I could use for a long, long time. And, it's just such a simple product.
And it's also like a Secret Santa price. If you've got a Secret Santa budget of £10 for someone, you're thinking, I don't know what to get them. Maybe someone's complaining they struggle picking dies up or whatever. $8.99 is your price for 2, and there's 2 magnets on each one. So it's 4 magnets there, KI3815. Now, another hero product that I didn't know you did until I saw it out the corner of my eye is this.
Yeah.
Now, another problem, and if you watch us regularly, you'll see lots of guests struggle to get the back off of red liner tape or double-sided tape. I don't know what it is about within these 4 walls in the studio.
It's a pain.
Tape misbehaves itself, especially when it's on TV. Maybe it does at your home as well. Getting the backing of double-sided tape can be an absolute
Yeah, it really can, yeah. So this tool, it's a 2-in-1 because this doesn't just remove the tape. Well, it doesn't remove the tape. You've still got to remove it, but it helps you.
It lifts it.
Yeah, it kind of lifts the corner for you. So I'm using this red liner tape, but also this is also a crease tool.
Oh, it's a paper creaser?
Yeah, it'll crease as well.
Like a bone folder?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right.
So, you know, we designed it and then I was kind of like, hang on a minute, if we put a nice bend in this, it can do other things. So one thing is that when you are using your red liner tape, you kind of have to buff it down a lot of the time as well. So I'm just putting all my glue down there. Should have had that done. So, you know, when I'm using this, if you put it down, sometimes, depending on the cardstock you're using, I find that it lifts the surface of the card, so you have to buff it. And this is actually a great tool for buffing because it's got this really ergonomic curve.
Yeah.
And also what it means is this is really nice to hold in your hand. Now, originally we designed it with the ergonomic curve, and the idea is that this is made out of silicone, hard silicone, and it has these little tiny nodules on the end, if you can see those. And basically, you don't have to press hard. All you're going to do is run that over the edge, and can you see it just catches?
It lifts the carrier tape off.
And it just lifts it off, look.
Oh.
Now, you need to then peel that back. Now, what I find is that I lift it off like that, and then it's a natural thing for me. I flip it over, and then I actually use the creaser to lift it off.
Now, how many minutes have you wasted in the last month trying to get the back off red liner tape or double-sided tape?
Yeah.
Any double-sided tape?
And even this tape, this has got this is a finger lift tape.
Yeah.
It's even got a release edge, but sometimes you just still don't get that. And look, it just pulls that edge up.
So it's little plastic serrated teeth. They're not sharp.
No, it's just like little nodules, and it just lifts it enough for you to get hold of that edge. So, you know, look, there you go. And I've had this tape for a long time, and it's actually really sticky. It doesn't release very well anymore.
It's a godsend.
But really, it was for the red tape more than anything. But it'll also do foam pads too.
Yeah.
So here's some more foam pads.
I've seen a tool like this before, but not with the kink in it. So not being a bone folder as well at the same time.
Yeah.
2 in 1.
So look, the foam pads, these are the worst, aren't they? So look, just do it, and don't press down, because if you press too hard, it has got nodules, and you can actually indent your paper. So don't press too hard. You're just literally guiding it over, look, because to me, that is easier than going like this with my nail and again ruining my nail again. So look, it's just lifted that up.
Well,
do it on the other edge just to show you, look.
I mean,
and it's just enough for you to be able to then lift that up with your tweezers or your nails, whatever you want to do.
This is where our one P&P for the whole day really comes into its own, because if you bought something from Sandra or from Leonie earlier on or Nikki's earlier show, you know you've paid your P&P, that's it for the whole day. Whatever you buy now until midnight tonight, you're not paying any more postage on it. So for $6.99, you've got a problem solver. Just the frustration, it's one of the most frustrating things, trying to get the back off tape, especially if tape gets very, very cold or gets very, very hot in the summer. I mean, this basically will take the backing sheet or the backing piece off the tape effortlessly, and then you've got, of course, the bone folder part of it at the bottom as well. And it's $6.99.
Yeah, and also we haven't even said about the crease, the fact that it's a creaser. So this is my trusted paper trimmer. I've had this for 20 years, this trimmer.
Blimey.
And it's just my favourite thing ever. I've had loads of others, and I always come back to this. It has a separate black creaser, but that can't live on here. And I always lose it. I don't know where, right now, I could not tell. I probably have about 6.
You can't have the cutting blade and the scoring blade on the same
No,
time.
and I know that I've got about 6 of them, but all your paper trimmers have a little groove where the blade goes down. So because this is going to be on your desk, you can actually use this to crease as well. So I've just put a nice crease line in there, and now because this is why it's got why it's got this curved edge, because you get a really nice finish with it.
It's a bone folder, it's a scoring tool, and it's also getting the back off your tape as well.
Yeah, it's a 3-in-1. It's fab.
It is great for $6.99. So that's £2.33 per purpose, basically. KU3830. Now, we've got I know the ones. Yeah, the stencil brushes, right, okay. These, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get 5 of them. Now, these sold out, did they? We got them back in. Last time they were here, they sold out very, very quickly. Now, these are great for doing your stenciling, adding colour through stencils, especially stencils that are quite tiny and quite small and quite detailed. You've got 5 branded Polkadoodle stencil brushes. It's not foam, they're all bristles, as you can probably see. They should be £11.99. Today they are £8.49, and you've got some there, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I'm just going to grab some.
I don't want to open the packet because it...
Yeah, so basically, you're going to get them in this resealable packet,
it's
this little
resealable,
pouch, yeah, which I've specifically requested because then you can store all it's a way to store them, because otherwise, the one thing that annoys me with the blending brushes is that, you know, this is inky on this end. I don't always want to be washing them out.
No.
You know, and these are small enough that it's nice if you can have a set. So for me, I actually have all my blues and greens in this pouch. And then I've got another set where I've got my pinks and my other colours, and they don't contaminate.
See, that's a really good point because, you know, no one just needs 5 brushes. You need brushes for different colourways of your ink pads and for different types of ink pad you've got as well. So maybe you bought them last time, you bought a set of 5, and you think I could do with 10 more, actually. They're only £8.49 for 5, OK? They're £8.49. If I just take one out of the packet for you. There we go, just so you can see. Just so you know exactly what you're getting. It's fine, fine bristles. Look at that. Look at that. So the blending you're going to get with that is superb.
Yeah, they're really nice to blend with. And you can kind of dab stencil as well. So it's not just, you know, you don't just have to sweep it, you can actually dab. And it's really for getting into all these fine details. On this stencil, there's these little tiny, tiny stars, and they're not even, I think they're about 3 millimetres wide.
It's about £1.80 a brush.
Yeah, and because you've got smaller bristles on the brush, you can actually get right into those fine layers. So, you know, we have our layering stencils that we do that are really detailed. I know Lisa Horton has layering stencils as well. So it means that you can get right in and you can actually get into those tiny details, and that's literally about a 3 millimetre wide star.
Half
and
the
very
stock
often,
of these is gone.
Yeah, they're really popular. We're struggling to keep them in stock, and it's because those are the details that when you're doing a stencil, you lift the stencil away and realise that you've left half of it undone.
Yeah.
And then you go back and it's kind of a bit difficult to get your big brushes in. So, and I think they're a really good price as well.
Absolutely, I think they're a brilliant price, £8.49. Sold out before. You're saving best part of £3.50 by buying them tonight. Many of you are going for 2 sets. Catherine in Cardiff has gone for 2, lots of you going for 1.
Yeah,
but remember, that's what you get, and it's a resealable pouch. So if you are keeping them in colour families, it means they're not going to contaminate any other brushes if you put them in a big bag together.
And you can keep these. I mean, I keep these with my big brushes, you know, and they're just there because, you know, you're going to need them all together. It's just nice. They're just clean and they're not rolling around because they're quite small. They're going to roll around and they are going to get a little bit dirty, probably in your toolbox, however you store them.
Keeping them in this keeps them nice and clean.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, now the other brushes we've got for you, the blending brushes, these ones, look at this. I always say that Polkadoodles makes you smile. It's always happy, positive colours, bright colours. Look, here you've got your blue, pink, your beautiful teal, red and also yellow blending brushes as well. Now, these should be only $16.99, but we're going to go even lower today. $9.99 for 5 brushes, £2 each.
Yeah, which
That's
is
ridiculous.
A great price.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the only reason we can do that price is because we sell so many of these. They literally fly out all the time. Now, we've got 5 colours. I am going to see if we can bring some more colours because it's nice to colour coordinate with your inks so that you know what colour your brush has already been used on.
Do you know what? I love the fact that they're kind of an all-round size. They're not too big, they're not too small. They're kind of a really good medium-sized blending brush. But just look at how many thousands of bristles you've got on that brush.
Yeah, and they're really nice quality. They feel really nice in the hand because they're not all the same. They're flexible, Dave. So, you know, they do bend. You know, because some of them are very stiff and they just don't blend quite. I don't know. I've had different ones and they're not all the same quality. These are really top quality. And like you say, I could have had the bigger ones, But actually, the smaller ones are nicer for us as paper crafters, I think, because we do smaller work. We don't need a great big 3-inch brush when we're trying to work on maybe a 4-inch wide card.
Now, I'm not saying that Nikki's the only person that does these blending brushes. A lot of people do them. But when they first came out, they were expensive, really, really expensive. You're getting them for £2 each now. I think they were in the region of like £6 or £7 each.
They still are. They still are. But I've just managed to, the people who make these for us have done me I've really nailed them on the pricing. And I was kind of like, no, I'll take this quantity if you give them to me for this price.
Well, Yvonne says, I bought these and they are amazing. So, you know, why spend more on brushes that are basically the same as this elsewhere when you can, I mean, no one buys just 5 blending brushes. You buy maybe 20 or 25 of them over a period of time because they are quite a bit of money. But at $9.99 for 5, you can afford to get an instant set for all the colourways.
And the reason I've put them in as 5 in a set as well is to make them affordable so you can actually add them to your collection. So, you know, kind of if you buy in a kit, get a set at the time because, you know, it is an investment at the end of the day. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I've got like every distressing colour or every... Because you want different ones for different types of inks. Yeah,
so you have one brush for an oxide and one for distressing.
And what I've started to do is I've actually separated my colours out. So I was originally using the corresponding colour to the corresponding ink colour. This week, what I decided was I'm using my oxides more than my normal distress inks now. So what I've actually done this week is I've pulled out my reds and yellows, and these are now going to be my distress ones. And the blues and greens, and what's the other colour? Blue, green.
Red, yellows, blue, green, teal.
And the teal. So those colours are going to be my oxides. So now I won't, because I keep picking up my green oxide brush when I don't want it to be an oxide. So, you know, you've got the opportunity to separate your colours out and your inks out as well.
If you've been looking at other people that sell brushes like this and you're thinking, well, I really, in an ideal world, would want 20 of them, and then you're thinking, well, at that price, it's going to cost me a fortune. This price, it'll cost you less than £40 to have 20 of these brushes, whereas elsewhere it might be double that sort of price. So stock up today. The quality is exactly the same as other brushes that I've seen at double this price. AO3898, and I know Crafter in East Riding of Yorkshire, I haven't got your name, but you've gone for 2. Many others of you coming through. Christina, Carol, Jennifer, Ruth, Hazel, Patricia, Cara. Check out your baskets if you could.
Can I just say as well, these are a really good thing on 2 things. First of all, these are a really good thing to ask for Christmas.
Yes.
Because they're a pocket money, Secret Santa kind of money price from your family and friends.
But it's not a gift that you're not going to use.
No, exactly. But secondly, and this is genuine, we're really low stock on these. So I think this is the last stock we've got. We've got more on order, but it's going to take 2 or 3 months to get those in. So if you are wanting them, stock up now, and then you're not going to have to wait because it'll annoy you.
Half the remaining stock has gone. Christina, congratulations to you. You've gone for three of these. You're going to get 15 new brushes for less than £30, which is pretty amazing, and the 1 P&P of $4.95. Now, one other thing that we've not talked about yet is digital crafting. You do a digital download, and also we've got a USB available if you prefer to have a physical product. The download that's on our website is an instant purchase, so there's no returns policy on it. There's no P&P payable on it. It's basically a download that you can literally buy now, and it will always stay on your Hobbymaker account. The download is for Merry Moosemas and Elvis Wesley, which sounds brilliant. I can't wait to see what's on this. $14.99 for the download, okay? Now, we've actually got a visual guide as to what quantity is on the USB. If you were to print everything out that's on the USB, it will be this amount of paper. What would a card collection cost with this sort of content if it were physically a card pack that you would buy? This is everything on that download that you can print off again and again and again. And basically, tell me about the character.
Okay, so this is actually, sorry, there's some samples here, sample photos here at the beginning. Let me just grab them out so we're not misleading anyone. Yeah, there. Okay.
Right.
This is Elvis, and Elvis is a moose. So Christmas collection, but also, you know, I think there are some images in here that you can use all year round. So he was so cute. We were trying to come up with a name for him, and I just said, oh, he's so cute, I want him to be Elvis. And we were kind of like joking around, Elvis Presley, and I went, no, Elvis Wesley.
Elvis Wesley.
Elvis Wesley. So we've got Elvis Wesley, and his girlfriend's called Priscilla
of
as
course.
well.
Have to be.
But this is everything you're going to get in this kit, and you've got papers. I should have actually printed out what there is because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, you've got black and white, so you can colour it in.
Yeah, you've got digital stamps. So basically, in here, I think you've got something like 20 minimum digital stamps. Kat should have or there should be a list somewhere on the website. Is it on there? But there's digital stamps in black and white, but you've also got them in colour. I also give you the SVG files to cut those out. So if you've got a Cricut or you've got a scan and cut or a silhouette, you can cut those out as well. You've got all these amazing papers.
Okay. Well, the USB is $19.99. The actual download, which is the same content, is $14.99 because you won't get anything in post. You basically have the download on your Hobbymaker account that you can then put on a memory bank. You can put into the memory of your PC, and you can print it off as many times as you wish. If you love this character, let's have a little look around the PC then, because this will show you what the download and what the USB will look like. So talk us through, Nikki, if you could. So this is the page that comes up when you...
It is, yeah. So it's just in folders, so there's nothing complicated. You don't need a program or anything like that to run it. So you're just going to double-click the download it, make sure you extract all the files. You get an option and it says extract or extract all. Make sure you extract all because you'll only get part of the download. You think you've got it all, but you haven't. We've got alphabets in there, so it's a full decorated Christmas alphabet. So again, don't forget you've got the SVGs, so you can cut those out. Then we've got, I can't see, Dave, I'm doing it blind, you know, it's too far away from me.
You and me both.
I haven't got my glasses with me. We've got the alphabet,
That's the SVG that Ellie's just clicked on. But you've got all the basic letters of the alphabet, all the characters, design sheets, backgrounds, all sorts.
Yeah, so design sheets are where the sheet is fully designed already for you, so all you've got to do is cut it out. These are topper sheets, so you've got all these individual elements, borders in there as well. There are pre-done cards for you as well, so you've got circle cards. So all you've got, it's already sized into a circle, so all you've got to do is print that out, print it onto cards, to be honest. And then you can just cut that out. There you go.
Oh, just look at
how
the
cute
artwork,
is
though.
that?
It's so sweet.
And I've blown these up really big, and they're so cute. You know, and all you need to do is put a sentiment on there or a little embellishment, and you're done.
Now, this is Ellie, our producer's first time looking at this. She literally is doing this blind, and she's doing a really good job. It's that easy. It's simple.
Yeah,
you basically
just double click on
it.
Double click on it, and then you, whether you're on a Mac or a PC, just right click and go to print, and it will print. I mean, all our images are PNG images. This is not a black background image, it's a clear background. So it will means that if you do use a program, any kind of graphics program, you can layer the images on top of each other. So you've got toppers there ready made.
Let me just show you again. This is everything that you're going to be getting on the download or the USB, because they're both the same, but this is it all printed out. So, you know, imagine what this would cost you if you were buying it pre-printed by a company. You've got digital stamps, you've got the coloured image next to it to give you ideas as to how to colour it in.
Yeah.
They're just beautiful.
And these are all hand-coloured by me, so they're coloured without the outline on, so it gives you a really nice kind of, what's the word? Almost like it's like an illustrative kind of image, if you like. But you've got all these toppers that are pre-done. Again, we've got square cards, circle cards.
Not just
look how much.
But also, you know, artwork for the kids' bedroom wall and that sort of thing around Christmas time.
And there's such good quality images. You can blow these right up to massive size. So if you do have an A3 printer, you could actually blow it up and it'll still print really nicely.
Maybe Santa's bringing you
all
one
the
for Christmas.
sentiments that are in there. You've got all these extra embellishments you can cut out.
But, I mean, these could, like you say, these could be blown up to different sizes. You could have them on the wall for parties, make them into bunting.
Great for invitations, tags. get the kids making Christmas decorations, or doing the place names for Christmas, the Christmas table or something like that. They're going to absolutely love it. But it's not designed for kids, and so it's very much an adult collection. It's just like so cute.
So you've got two options. You can either download it now and it's instant, and you can actually start crafting with the artwork straight away because there's nothing to send in the post. It's a download, like you download your music or you open an email. It's instant. $19.99 though is for the USB, so you'll get the actual dongle in the post. So there will be P&P on that, unless you've already paid it, and you'll get that, and it stays, all the information, all the artwork and the cutting file stays on the USB, so you haven't got any storage worries. Plug it into the side of your PC and away you go. If you'd rather have it as a download though, and maybe you download the Crafty Witches, Debbie Moore designs, all those wonderful downloads we have, that will be exactly where they are on your Hobbymaker account. If you ever change your PC or you accidentally delete it or something happens to it, it's always going to be on your Hobbymaker account, and it's $14.99. That's if you want Merry Moosmus with Elvis Wesley. Who wouldn't want a bit of Elvis in their life?
I know, he's so cute. You're going to love that collection, you really are.
Okay, now let's go back to where we started then, the big Buy the Show bundle, which we started at the beginning of the show. I say Buy the Show, basically it's the two collections that we've brought you, which is the Say Cheese collection and also the Hip Hip Hooray. So that will get you both of them, including the dies, the stamps, the stencil in one of them as well, the A4, and also the 6x6 paper pads as well. It's got a value of $106.92, but today it's $79.49 for everything. Obviously you don't get the finished cards, but it's everything in the bundle and on three-way split pay. So let's quickly show you what you've got. You've got this die set that of course cuts out the stamps, which are just here. So there with it, there we go, look, stamps and dies. You've then got your birthday die, which is absolutely huge, and you've got the aperture that it cuts out, like Nikki was demonstrating earlier on, but also you've got the actual physical letters, which you can use. So you can get two cards out of one pass through the machine, absolutely. That was popular individually too. Then you've got your craft paper pack of 25 sheets of A4, and it is beautiful, beautiful papers, double printed, both sides, and they're printed A5, so you get two A5 sheets on each side there, basically, or A5 images on each side. Beautiful. So that is your first collection, which is the Say Cheese. And then the Hip Hip Hooray one is this one, which is going to come in this bundle as well. So you've got your Hip Hip Hooray as stamps with the balloons and the word birthday as well. Then you've got the dies as well, which cut it out perfectly. You've then got your stencil, which has got the showering stars. And then you have your 6x6 papers, craft papers. These are single-sided, but they're very beautiful and vibrant. And they're not just backgrounds. You've actually got, as you can see here, little sentiments and tiles that you can cut out with a trimmer. Special lady, just for you, here's to you, my amazing friend, and so on. You get a couple of each of those. Then you've got backgrounds. Then you've got ticker tape. There we go, Hip Hip Hooray, beautiful. There's the strips, or it could actually be, you can make them into like a paper, what do we call it? Paper ribbons, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, you could do that. So you get a couple of those. I love those beautiful word tiles or word balloons. They're really cute, spelling the word birthday. More balloons, more parties, more numbers, more tartan, and more sentiments at the back there as well. So that is basically the Hip Hip Hooray collection, okay? So if you want them on their own, they're available as individual collections. If you want just one die set, one stamp set, one stencil, whatever, they're all on the website now, individually priced for you. But if you go for the big bundle with both of them, you get everything for £79.49, okay? £79.49, and it is on split pay as well. It's on three split ways of split pays even of £26.49.
Wow.
Just showing a couple of finished cards.
Yeah, I know. I was just kind of like going to show what I was going to do on the demo. I've lost my letters somewhere. I don't know where they've gone to. I think it's just because we've got in the kerfuffle. So what I did was I actually created, like where we'd die cut the letters out, I then also coloured around the letters. So whilst you were talking, I kind of coloured this in quite quickly, and I actually blended just this dark background. So then I've made a little shaker behind there. So if I just show you, my shaker's not working particularly well because of the static, because I just quickly threw it together. But you can see in there that you've got the actual stamped letters, the dark background in there. And then I was just going to put it onto here with our little camera. Mm-hmm. And we've got our little cute balloon guy. And I've lost my O. Where's it gone? I don't know, it's just vanished. It's absolutely vanished. I think I must have dropped it on the floor. But anyway, you would have your hooray here. And actually, it's just one letter. It's the A is actually also the O for the letter above.
Right.
And so basically, you can just create a really great birthday card, nice and colourful.
Great fun, aren't they?
Non-gender kind of related in any way. It can be for anybody and any age.
Brilliant, Nikki. Thank you ever so much.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, though. Still 2 more shows to come. We've got Santangle and another show from the lovely Leonie Pujol as well at 8 o'clock tonight. I'll see you with Sandra right after this.